Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. It's been a few days, hasn't it? This is my first video that I'm trying to record after the loss of my Georgie. So if you haven't caught up with that, my 2-year-old cat was killed, misadventure with a car. And so I've just taken a bit of time away and I've got to stop talking about it, otherwise I'm going to lose the plot. If I stop talking at any point during this and you hear music playing, it's because I've not managed to control myself. And in that case, I'll just continue with the video if I can, with what I'm doing, but just play music over top of any stuff that might be happening for me. So today, Margarete Miller Day. I'm recording this on Wednesday for Saturday, so let's see how we go. The subject of this is going to be Georgie, so I'm a bit doubtful, but that's just what's on my heart, and I could see how all these prompts I can tie into the story. And I just remembered I am missing one item, so I might have to pause, and that might give me a moment during the video where I can have a composure time, shall we say. So I'm going to start even without that item, and then I'll take a break to get the item I'm missing, and then we'll proceed, hopefully. So week 12 of Margarete Miller, a tool commonly found in the garden. And I have here these little hand tools, a little fork and trowel, a piece of postcard either side, and I've got this bit of well, it's a printable. It's from A Garden Story by, now I'm not sure whether it's Rachel Bella Crafts printable or whether it's Angela Kerr printables, because it's part of the current collaboration that's happening, hashtag Journal Jigsaw, and I knew there were postcards in amongst it, so I grabbed out this one in particular because it has the number 17 on it, and that is the date that I lost my Georgie. So when I was looking for the postcard and I saw the 17 there, I thought it's meant to be. So that's my postcard. A fragrant item from your surroundings. So I have rose petals here off a rose in our garden. So my desk smells really nice at the moment. I've also got some jasmine off our jasmine plant. It's a pure white one. It just smells so good. Paper that has a stain or is stained, and I've gone with a bit that hasn't got a lot on it. It's from the book that I use to like collage on and stuff, and it's just got this coffee stain on the corner, which was the result of a clumsy cat. So as part of the story, even though it's just a subtle little corner that's stained, it relates because it involves a cat incident. Okay, so that's my bit that's just going to go in the background and will just be that little bit of stain in the corner. Something you could give as a gift. I have a picture here of dahlias, and to go with that I have this picture of a vase of flowers, because flowers are given as a gift. And a friend has actually given me a posy of flowers. She gave it to me yesterday, and I thought I could take a photo of it, but I just, in all honesty, I just could not be bothered. I'm not functioning fully at the moment. So I just found a picture of a vase of flowers, and then the bunch that I was given has dahlias in it. So I had a picture of dahlias. So I'm using both of those to represent the one thing. Okay, and the bonus is a musical instrument. I'll get into why I've got this painty paper here. So it's the bonus, the musical instrument that I forgot to grab out. Not sure where I'm going to find that yet, but yeah, I'll take a break midway and sort that out. So I also have an extra to go on this page, and that is a photo of my baby boy, Georgie. I debated about including a photo of him. One, because it's obviously quite difficult. to whether I could be bothered going to print one out, and in the end I did go print one out, because he's central to this story that I'm creating. So why not? You know, so I've gone with a picture of him. It actually was quite hard to find one where he was not sleeping. I've got lots of photos of him sleeping on me, in my arms, or not facing the camera. Oops, I didn't quite cut that in the right place. I might actually take a bit more. I don't need all that grass. But I didn't want one where he was sleeping, because I thought that looks too much like he's already passed, and you know, I want a photo of him looking alive. So I found one. It's not the best photo, but it is a photo, and it's cute. I remember this day. It's not recent. This was, I think, spring this year, or spring? No, we haven't had spring this year. Duh. Spring last year. So around, maybe, might have even been late winter. It might have been, no, it would have been spring. Sorry, just ignore me. My brain is somewhere else right now. Don't know where it is, but it's somewhere else. I shall stop just talking about nothing. So first off, I'm just going to glue this down, because this, I definitely know this is going in the background. I've kind of got a loose idea how I want to arrange some of the pieces, but not, gosh, keep the glue on the paper, but not entirely, and I'm still missing that one element, so I'm not sure how that's going to figure into things. I mean, it is a bonus, I don't have to include it, but I like to try and include everything, and I usually do. So just a matter of finding something, I think. Right, so just going to put that right at the top there. Oh, it's really cold. I am so cold. And beautiful day outside. It's a stunning day. Right, this one I know I want to pop down right in the bottom. I've left the text here just because I thought, well, in case I forget that it's a dahlia. I don't know if I would, because I know what a dahlia is, but I was like, it just nicely covers over the background, so I thought, well, I'm just going to leave it in there. So I've gone over how the dahlias form part of the story. So they were a gift from my friend on the passing of Georgie. And this one, I think I'm going to like go over top. So we've got my postcard. I thought that might go up there somewhere. The garden tools. The garden tools feature into this because, of course, we had to bury Georgie. And while we used a normal spade or shovel, I couldn't find a normal one. So I just went with what I could find, which was their small hand tools. Because they represent, and there's soil at the bottom. So that's... I'm sorry if this is morbid, but as a whole story, yeah, let's just say that as a whole story. Do I want to that over top? I don't want to lose my stain since it's just a tiny wee bit in the corner. In fact, is it even on? Might not even be in frame. I'll bring it a little bit closer to me. I think that's going to be better. I think I want to lose a corner of this, just so I'm not completely covering, you know, so much of the dahlia there. Try that. That to go under there. That's, yeah, that's better, I think. Might even pull that over a little bit. And then this maybe goes on top there. Let's just cut it out. It is cut off here in the image, that's okay. I'm not worried about it. It's just meets the prompt of something that's given as a gift, and represents the posy of flowers I was given. Nice and easy to cut out. And maybe we put that like that. My thought is, wherever my prompts, here they are, that we'd slide them in here somewhere. They could tuck in, or maybe they go in here. Actually, maybe I'll put them in behind Georgie. Georgie can take care of the prompts for me. He can be the prompt caretaker. How's that? He can look after them for me, keep them safe. Okay, so in that case, I need to pop the photo down first. So, oh, there's a blowfly in here. Yuck. It must have been when I went out to check the mail and left the front door open. It must have come in. And there was something in the mailbox addressed to someone I've never heard of. And I thought, is this something that's important? Is it something I can just throw away? Like if it's just a bit of advertising, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, don't close your prompt window there, dear. Just remember what I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to go about there. And I'm going to remove that just in case I end up gluing it in, because that wouldn't be what I want to achieve. So I was, I guess, a little bit naughty, but I held it up to the light, and most of it you can't read because there's a security window. And there was this 2 words I could read, complaints and something. I was like, oh, that might be important. So I actually looked up the address on the back. It didn't have a company name, but it had an address. So I looked up the PO box number, and it's for a debt collection agency is the one who sent it. And I thought, yeah, this is probably important. So I've got to return that to the post office to be sent back to a sender, because I think the person's been a little bit naughty and given a fake address, which is not good. And I don't want them coming knocking at our door looking for this person who I've never ever heard of before in my life. Never heard of them in the community even. So it might be a case that they got the wrong town, like the right street address but the wrong town. Don't know. Not my problem, not my issue, not my business. I can just return it to sender, and then they can do with it what they will. Except come knocking at my door looking for money, because it ain't us. Right. Let's put our wee flowers bouquet in there. It's a very spring bouquet, and we are in autumn. In fact, the equinox is today as I am recording this at 4:06 p.m. I think it is the official time for the equinox. So in terms of equinox timing, we go into autumn, but I consider we've been in autumn since the beginning of the month, because the weather certainly supports that. It's been just cold. Right, and I'm just going to check that this fits in there, and it does. Awesome. Before I put this down, because I could also have used this as a little pocket if I'd ended up making a mistake on the photo, but we're all good. So I'm just going to pop this in. I might put a wee tab on the prompt list actually. I'm just worried that the pocket's a bit deep and I might lose it in there somehow. So I might do that if I remember. Right, so there's our bit of postcard, which is the whole front. Beautiful little garden image, which also ties into this whole idea of being, you know, we've got garden pots, we've got Georgie out on the lawn. It's actually in our driveway. We've got the garden tools, we've got the bouquet and the dahlias, and our fragrant item from our surroundings is, of course, my plants here. So the jasmine, which I just can't stop smelling it, is gorgeous, and quite often the cats will sleep out and under it when it's really, really hot, because it's nice and shady under it. And the other thing is the rose. So this rose is from our rose bush called Special Occasion, and it is a rose we were given for our wedding by a friend of my husband's. And yeah, so we just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. So it was nice, I thought, nice to inject a little bit of that into this otherwise sad spread. But also, where Georgie is buried, I picked one of the rosebuds and put it on top of his little grave. So it's also relates to Georgie as well. I thought about laminating the flowers, and again, I could not be bothered to get the laminator out, to clear a space, to set it up, blah, 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 find the pockets. My head's not in that space, so I have played with an idea, and I needed something, a way to show up the jasmine, because it's white, and I felt like there's a lot of white here, it just would get lost. So I've punched out some circles from this jelly print, and then just used some packing tape over top, and I'm just going to split those in half, and I want more than 2. Now I probably should pause and go and find a musical instrument, but maybe we'll put one down there. Now I'm really thinking, yes, I should go find a musical instrument. No, I'm going to put one there, because I did these as an experiment to see if it was going to work, and I've just had them hanging around with the sticky side up, and it's like I've already accidentally stuck them to the back of a book once. I want to get them down so that I don't stick them to anything else. I might trim a little bit of that tape off, because it's going to extend past the page. Oops, I got a bit of tape stuck on the back. Oh well, it is what it is. Just so that it doesn't, the tape doesn't go above the edge of the page. So we'll put that one there. So I will show you how I did that in case you're interested, just as a quick and easy way to incorporate flowers without, if you don't have a laminator, or like me, just can't be bothered getting it out, or maybe you're out of laminating pocket, I don't know, just an option for you. But I am going to, before I do any more, I want to find the musical instrument, otherwise I could end up with nowhere left to put it. So I'll pop the camera on pause, and I'll be back when I've found a suitable image. See you again soon. It didn't take very long at all. I have an encyclopedia just down beside me, and I thought, harp. I wonder if there's an image of harp. So there was. How the harp ties into the story, well, I do like the sound of a harp. It's very pretty, it's very soothing, and I think that's appropriate for the scenario, if you know what I mean, without me elaborating on where my head's sitting with that thought. So maybe we just layer it up there. I think it's kind of loosely attached to the story. You know how music sits with grief and stuff like that. So let's just pop it there. Try and make it straight. I think about there, it should be good. Okay, so let's show you. I'm just going to pop this up for a moment, how I went about doing these. It's very simple. There's no real trick to it. This jelly print is only on newsprint paper, and to avoid my punch having a hissy fit, I just double it over and punch 2 at once. And then it punches nice and cleanly. And I'm just going to do it again. I think I'm going to go with 5. Because, you know, the odd number. I thought about 3 and it's like, not sure. So I'll punch enough for 5. Pop that paper aside. We're finished with that now. So got some circles, and you could just cut little squares of paper, you know, whatever you wanted. Use whatever size is suitable for your flower. If you want to back it with paper, you might, if it's something colourful, you might not need to back it. But I just didn't want to end up with something stuck on there that was super hard to see. Right, so these have got a very long, can you see that? Very long sort of base on the flower. So I just break it quite close up to the petals. Otherwise it kind of sticks out past the circle, and flatten it a little bit. And I'll grab, I'll grab all of these 3 because that'll make the 5 with the 2 that I've already got done. Right, need packing tape or some sort of tape. So I'm just going to cut off my little end of the roll marker and peel off what I think will be I can't do this without getting fingerprints all over the place, but that is also, it is what it is. I'll worry about putting that end back on later. I'll have to refine the end. Right, so placing it sticky side up, trying to keep it there without sticking to my fingers. And so just take a flower and pop it on the sticky side, press it down a little bit, and then take a circle, oops, if I can, and press it down in between the petals so it actually sticks to the tape. So flattening that centre bit a bit as much as possible. Oops, don't bend the petal back. And then just trying to keep that centre bit flat when you lay the circle down. So the petals extend past the circle, which is fine. I think it's actually quite a nice little thing. This one's only got 4 petals. And then once you've got some bits stuck down, you can actually use that to hold, so you're not fighting with the tape. Easy as that. And then just cut them apart and stick them on. So really, really simple. The only downside is, of course, whether you're laminating or using tape, is that you no longer get the scent of the flower. But I don't want them falling out or going really gross and brown. I don't know if the packing tape will stop them going brown or not. Time will tell. Yeah, we shall see. Oops. Try not to stick the tape to itself. Oh gosh, come off the scissors. Right. So we've got our harp, so we can put one of these down here. Look, it's just, I'm just getting into all sorts of trouble, getting stuck up here. Right, so let's cut these apart. And I'm going to do a very similar thing with the petals, the rose petals. Put that one there. So I also means I'll have shiny bits, so it could be interesting to try and photograph this, but never mind, we'll just work with it. And then that one I need to trim the tape down a little bit. It's very cheap tape, this, so like you start cutting it and then it just tears, which can be helpful and it can be annoying. So let's put this one over here. I do like those. I think they look actually really pretty. Right, so the same thing. Now I'm going to have to find, oh, there it is, the end of the tape. I can see it. Can I grab it? go, got it. And maybe just 3 of the rose petals. They're quite large, and they smell lovely. It's a scented rose. A lot of modern roses don't have the scent, but this one's an older variety, so it has a lovely scent. I'm just going to kind of stick it down onto the tape. I've got more here than I need, so I'll probably put some in my journal for the day. And one on my collage calendar for today. 2, and let's do this one because it's a slightly smaller one. This one and this one are slightly smaller from the inside of the rose. So it was a rose that's, you know, very soon will drop its petals anyway, because being at this time of year, the roses are ending. So what roses there are on the bush I didn't want to, apart from the one I put on Georgie, I didn't want to take away from the bush, because we don't have many flowers in our garden. So what we do have, I like to leave and enjoy, so everybody can enjoy them. All the neighbours and people going up and down the street, because it's in the front yard. So I've got 4 petals left over there, and I've also got some jasmine that I can put in my journal as well. So again, I'm just going to separate these out and decide where I want them. Oops. That's where our prompts are going. Don't close up your prompt window. So I need to remember that. Sorry if this obscures your view. I just need to lift it so I can put the tape underneath. Oops. I don't know if you can see that. I've stuck it to my sleeve, and now it's got cat fur all in the tape. Well, how fitting is that to have cat fur all in the tape? Yeah, I think I definitely want to put a tab on that so I don't lose it. Georgie, you're not allowed to steal them, darling. You've just got to keep them safe for Mummy. Right, this one, I kind of want the petals around Georgie. That one turned out really nice, actually. I think that's my favourite petal there. And then this one, oops. Where do I want that? Kind of feel like we're getting a bit cluttered. But that's okay. If it's cluttered, so be it. It's got everything, it all relates, it tells a story, and it's, in a way, this one in particular is an art journal of processing of Georgie's death. A way to remember him, a way to honour him. That one's a bit bubbly, but that's okay, I don't mind it. So I think I'll just put a tab on here, and I think I'll just use that same painty paper. Now, do I risk it not punching very well? It's very thin paper, so perhaps should have double layered it anyway, but it's all right. So just a little whale tail, like so. Well, I think I've managed to get through this video. There was a few little bumpy points, but wasn't too bad. I'm sorry if I haven't been too talkative about fun things and everything, but it's just not where I'm at. I'm just pretty pleased actually to get a video done at all, because it's not easy. Okay, so let's review. We've got a tool commonly found in a garden. So we've got our little hand tools here, which remind me of digging the grave. A piece of postcard. So this is out of a garden story, either Rachel Bella Crafts or Angela Kerr Designs. There's 4 kits in the series. 2 were done by Rachel Bella Crafts, 2 by Angela Kerr. Is it Kerr? I think so. Oh, now I'm doubting myself if I've got the name right. So it's out of one of those kits, one of the ephemera kits, so 1 from each of them. And it's got the 17 on it, which is the day that dear Georgie left us. Fragrant item from your surroundings. We've got the jasmine and the rose petals, because the rose is what I put on his grave, and it's also marks our wedding anniversary. Paper that has a stain or is stained. This coffee stained book page in the background here, which was actually Puss, did that with his clumsiness, but Georgie's brother, Puss. Something you could give as a gift, the bouquet of flowers and the dahlias that were specifically in my posy that I was given. And then our harp is the bonus musical instrument, because, you know, funeral music, grieving music, it kind of works. But we've done all the prompts, and there is my piece for this week, for week 12 of Margarete Miller. I'm sorry it was a bit of a downer, but I hope you still enjoyed it, watching the process. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks so much, and hopefully I'll be feeling back to normal soon, whatever normal is these days. Have a great weekend. Bye.